For over 40 years, Reba McEntire embodied the heart and soul of country music, elegant, kind, and devoted to the world that lifted her up. On stage, she shone with warmth. In conversations, she radiated class. Yet beneath that polished exterior, a deep undercurrent of pain had been simmering. In the tight-knit circles of Nashville, folks murmured that she never forgot a wrong, every hurt, every disloyalty, every unspoken wound that lingered like a shadow. And during the Grand Ole Opry Centennial Bash, she let a sliver of that pain escape. A single, quiet remark backstage sent ripples through the heart of country music, the murmur that rattled the foundations. It unfolded on an evening dedicated to harmony, gathering a century's worth of melodies in one iconic space. The Opry's 100th drew icons, rising stars, and media from coast to coast. Reba showed up in stunning attire, ready for the festivities. But those nearby caught a glimpse of something deeper, a poised exterior masking a brewing storm. Like someone preparing not for a tune, but for a long overdue confrontation. When a journalist inquired about the thrill of being back for this landmark, Reba offered a gentle grin. Then she leaned in close and murmured, "You remember what happened." No specifics, no accusations. But those words landed heavy, halting chatter in its tracks. Soon, agents were buzzing, reporters dialing bosses, and crew members firing off frantic messages. Nashville thrives on whispers, but this felt different, not idle talk, but a signal. People who've stood by Reba for years know she chooses her moments wisely. She weighs her thoughts, waits seasons before acting. That evening, it seemed her tolerance had worn thin. For years, she'd borne 5 deep scars, pains that molded her quiet strength, and some believe redirected her path. The sting from Vince Gill. The 2001 Country Music Association Awards should have been a pinnacle for Reba McEntire, a tribute to her tireless journey through joy, sorrow, and victory. Organizers had lined up a heartfelt duet to spotlight her enduring impact, a bridge linking eras of talent. Reba was in her prime, graceful, revered, and beloved by all. The spotlight was set to affirm her timeless command of the stage. Practices flowed seamlessly. Her outfit, a rich crimson dress, gleamed under the lights. Details were locked in. Her crew got the green light on timing. All systems go. Then, mere hours from the dress rehearsal, her agent fielded a shocking update. The duet? Scrapped. Her spot vanished from the roster without a heads-up. Stepping in, Vince Gill. At first, it seemed like a mix-up, but the final lineup confirmed the cut. No reasons given, no regrets expressed, just quiet. To the world, it was spun as artistic tweaks or calendar clashes. Insiders knew better. This was about influence. By that point, Vince had risen as a key player in Opry networks. His charisma, standing, and ties to decision-makers made him invincible. What he desired, he often got. Reba held back from any showdown. That wasn't her style. She delivered her individual piece flawlessly, posed for photos, and exited before the applause faded. Witnesses backstage noted her serene yet aloof demeanor, the face of a person absorbing a harsh truth about trust in a place where quiet often trumped truth. In private, the ache ran deep. It wasn't merely the swap. It was the who. Vince wasn't an outsider. They'd shared spotlights, fundraisers, and endless prep sessions. She respected him, relied on him, thought they shared ideals. His lack of voice in her sidelining turned a work snub into a personal blow. Close ones say that evening sparked a lasting change in how Reba viewed the scene. She quit presuming bonds meant equity. She grew vigilant about who defended her when the games got rough. In later chats about her toughest times, she avoided labels but confessed, "One spotlight moment got pulled, and it shattered a part of me. Listeners assumed it was a canceled show or abandoned project. But those in the know grasped the reference. It went beyond a missed melody. It was shattered faith. The sort built over years, gone in an instant. The cut from Travis Tritt. Where Vince's hurt was hushed, Travis's felt intentional. A scar that burned because it showed how quickly honor could bow to pride. Back in the early 2000s, the town was alive with talk of a grand group effort, a rallying cry for country's heritage, strength, and staying power. Top talents were eyed for spots, and Reba's nod felt fitting. She'd anchored the genre for ages, linking old-school vibes to fresh faces. The track's vibe was straightforward. Unite powerhouse singers to celebrate roots, legacy, and grit. Reba embraced it, laid down test tracks, freed up dates, and geared up for the ensemble record. Weeks on, the reveal came minuser. Word from studio folks pointed to Travis quietly pushing back. He apparently suggested to the team that the piece suited a guys-only vibe, claiming her addition might dilute its raw edge. Some figured he worried her commanding energy would eclipse his. Others saw it as classic barriers, the hidden notion that some anthems, platforms, and traditions were guy territory. His sway won out. Reba got scrubbed. She didn't hear from execs or aides. A studio contact tipped her off pre-announcement. For Reba, the pain transcended career awkwardness. It was the hidden sharpness of learning a public ally had schemed to block her. Yet she stayed, Ma. Later that year, she signed on for a benefit show in Georgia, tied to Travis's circle, meant as a feel-good gathering for good causes. Reba prepped her numbers, rallied her group, and even funneled earnings back in. Days out, her helper got a curt note. Slot-axed. No why, no alternate, zilch.press digs yielded fuzzy lines about her fit not matching the night's mood. Vague on purpose. But Reba's inner group decoded it. Another shutout. That's when her grace turned to resolve. In Nashville, Reba was famed for her tact. She dodged open clashes, kept words kind, eyes on the art. This round, her hush roared. In a follow-up chat on Travis, she grinned and said evenly, "Our notes don't blend." To outsiders, witty quip. To pros, a subtle boom. Reba meant values, not vocals, the type who bar doors after warm greetings. After, she pulled from male-heavy ventures. She dove into screen roles, her label, and steering her own ship. She realized Nashville's regard wasn't solely talent-born. At times, it demanded reclaiming by stepping aside. That period shifted Reba McEntire quietly. No more just the darling of country poise. She emerged as someone who'd witnessed enough to drop the facade of fairness. From then, she charted her course. If this story touches your heart, please share it. The bond with Tanya Tucker that crumbled. Once it was solidarity. Through the 80s and 90s, Reba McEntire and Tanya Tucker stood as trailblazers, reshaping strength in country tunes. They graced joint platforms, swapped praise in spots, and backed one another in a field quick to divide women. That unity faded. Mid-90s, Reba was deep in talks to co-lead a broadcast honoring country's trailblazers, a high-profile nod to genre founders. Creators pegged her as ideal, esteemed, articulate, a living emblem of the heyday. Then, abruptly, plans flipped. Tanya's camp allegedly sealed a side pact, dangling exclusive scoops and behind-scenes peeks for solo hosting rights. It stuck. Reba got bumped cold. Not from Tanya, directly from her rep, staring at ads sans her. The hit wasn't work only. It struck close. Reba kept cool outwardly, but confidence said it devastated her. The growing gap solidified. At galas, nods were scarce. The scene took note. Warmth vanished. Decades on, in 2014, the split sealed. A big Country Music Association event lined up a women-only homage to icons. 'Cause I'm a woman, 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 I'm a wo Tanya fronted it. Reba McEntire, a cornerstone female force in the style, got overlooked. As fans queried socials, Tanya dropped a curt note. Can't invite the whole crowd. No tags, but clear. Reba held tongue publicly, her quiet thundering. All eyes say she etched it in memory. Not the host grab, not the snub, not the apathy. In a realm ruled by image, Tanya's moves flipped alliance to rivalry, rivalry to simmering grudge, the Naomi Judd tribute, and the final straw. Come 2022, Reba McEntire had weathered storms, pivots, and grief. But a gathering for solace morphed into fresh hurt. With country icon Naomi Judd's passing, the community rallied for a aired remembrance. Reba got the call to cap it with a poignant number, tailored to salute Naomi's mark and Reba's tie to the family. She practiced meticulously, shuffled commitments, and brought genuine emotion. Naomi was more than colleague or companion. Then, a day prior, shifts it. Two Opry-linked leaders stepped in, rejigging the flow. Reba's time slashed, her closer spot shoved earlier. No direct word, no rationale, just an updated itinerary to her crew. Both figures had passed friction with Reba. One over prior Opry bookings. The other, long ago, had downplayed her in broadcasts, deeming her too spotlighted. Reba appeared regardless, delivered flawlessly, then slipped away. No mingling, no chats, no facade, just hush. Later, on air, queried about it, got her reply short. That evening shattered me doubly. No details, unnecessary. To supporters, it symbolized. Reba's sorrow wasn't ego or exposure. It was dignity, robbed of farewell her way. Insiders say post-memorial, Reba evolved. She ceased equating quiet with elegance. Started penning not songs, but recollections. Tales buried for years, poised for daylight. And her murmur of, "You remember what happened at the Opry's milestone?" Those nearest got it. This was the settling. The last wound, the lingering score. That fifth cut, she guards nameless. All eyes whisper of a joint tour pitch in the early 2000s, a blockbuster tie-up between top draws. Reba freed slots, okayed promos, dove into drills. Then, poof gone. Another stepped in. The